Hi there, and welcome to Envoy's Fair Chance Conversation Series. My name is Solomon, and I am with the Envoy team, where I help lead our community partnership development efforts directly with employers and companies looking to implement fair chance hiring practices.
And I'm Alex, and I focus on HR policies and overall company culture.
And today, we are extremely excited to welcome with us Ken Kuwamura, who is on the talent acquisition team at Union Pacific Railroad. Union Pacific has been engaged in fair chance hiring efforts and have been able to implement really proactive, thoughtful pilot initiatives with community-based organizations in various different markets, and continues to make a lot of exciting inroads in building out these fair chance hiring efforts. So to kick off today's conversation, Ken, can you tell us a little bit about yourself, Union Pacific, and specifically why the company decided to implement a fair chance hiring initiative?
Yeah, sure. Solomon, Alex, thank you so much for having me. Hey, it's always good to talk to y'all. So yeah, Union Pacific, I'm with the talent acquisition team. Obviously, we're on the recruiting side of the house, trying to find people and trying to find talent. Union Pacific is over 150 years old. It's a company that's been around forever, right? A lot of history behind us. And in the past, trying to find talent to come in has never really been as difficult as it is now. And other companies are also seeing that they're also having issues trying to fill, their workforce. So one of the reasons that we decided to get into the second chance is because of the talent. We needed talent. And also the more research we did, we found that there were 70 million people out there with a lot of talent that weren't even getting looked at and weren't even getting the opportunity to come in. Obviously, the second piece, during these last few years, Union Pacific has taken a hard stance about D&I and all this social injustice. We want to make a difference in our communities, and we want to make a difference, within our company and also the communities that we serve. But the third thing is the community, right? We feel that we have to be part of that change. In order for us to see the change that we need across the country, starts with us, companies like us, having to give people opportunities to do better with themselves.
Absolutely. Thank you for that, Ken. And thinking about kind of talking about this across the company and you specifically being in talent acquisition, how are you able to kind of make the business case? Were there resources or education that your leaders needed about fair chance hiring?
So definitely it's the education piece, right? I'm going to tell you, we tried at one time to look at this space and failed, right? Because we weren't educated. We were fortunate enough to be connected with you all that helped us educate us and helped us even use the right words when we went in for our presentations. That's key. When you're talking to the executive level and you're trying to make a point, even though they've been on board from day one, and you got to give them credit, because they're the ones that said, hey, you better get creative and find some, non-traditional ways to go look for some talent. And this is one of the things that they threw out. So it helps to have the backing of your executives, but at the same time, you've got to know how to speak the language, how to present it right. You've got to have the stats. You've got to have those numbers behind you when you get up there and get in front to plead, present your case. And you have to have real examples. And I think that's what you all brought to us. You helped us circle the wagons, get a little bit tighter, looked at our processes, and when we went up, we had a solid plan.
That's really great, Ken. We know that a big element to this work has been developing thoughtful relationships with community organizations on the ground, providing services and programs. Can you talk a little bit about how you've leveraged local community programs and social support services from community organizations, and ultimately how you're collaborating and working with some of these groups on the ground to support candidates and support the referral process?
Oh yeah, definitely. That's also I guess probably the other foundation piece of our program is those community partnerships, right? We learned early on that we couldn't do it alone, and we needed other community partners to be part of this process. There's only so many things that we can do as a company to support individuals. And so we needed to find agencies that could provide these wraparound services to help facilitate that onboarding help while they were just starting out, getting their feet on the ground and learning the job. And they needed that extra support. You know, we can support them while they're at work, but while they're at home, they also need other things and other support. So identifying these community partners, which is another thing that we learned from y'all, is how to evaluate the correct partners. There's a lot of people out there and there's a lot of agencies in this space doing this, you know, trying to do this thing, but there's only a few and a handful that actually, you know, have been successful with this population. And they have the credentials and they also have, you know, the experience working with other companies.
Absolutely. I think community partnerships are so crucial to this entire process. Thinking about kind of how we went through a review process of the HR policies and practices, what was one of the learnings that you and the rest of the talent team kind of took away from that process we went through?
I think we learned really quick that we were keeping a lot of people from applying or getting through the process. Just simple things, not on purpose and not intentional, just blind spots that we didn't see. It is simple, one or two words in a question, right? And so I think that having that, you know, outside perspective coming in really helped us and really helped change our mindset and help change our policies, not only for the second chance, but across HR. You know, how we ask our questions now, how we hold our interviews now, how we do our background. All that came from advice and suggestions that you all gave us, and it helped immensely.
Ken, we know that a lot of great work has taken place in Houston and that there is ongoing exciting work still to take place. And so would love to hear from you as you look ahead, what some of your goals for Union Pacific's Fair Chance hiring efforts look like, and ultimately what you're where you're looking to grow this initiative and what you're hoping to achieve through the ongoing growth of this work.
So, you know, obviously we've had success in Houston. We're looking forward to standing up the Los Angeles efforts. Again, we can't say enough about Houston. That, you know, we've learned a lot, but it's been a very successful program. And it's also been, you know, a learning experience for all of us. Looking to the future, Solomon, we're looking to stand up more locations and partnerships in 17 other areas. In fact, in every one of our hubs, you know, we're trying to get the same program that we have in Houston established in these other locations. You know, we're going to go back up to the north east of our system to try to start some more partnerships up that way, and then coming back, work towards the middle of the country, the Nebraskas, the Iowas. So, you know, this is not only just a one and done, it's something that we've proven that can be sustainable, something that is going to be part of our recruiting strategy, not just an idea. And that's because of all the work that we've put into it this last year and a half and some of the results that we've gotten from it.
That's very, very exciting that it's going to be expanding to all these new markets. I'm curious, thinking about this transition, what are the steps that it takes internally to kind of take something from a pilot to a company-wide initiative?
You know, that's a great question. I think that it's going to take us internally communicating to our own people what this program really is, right? Because right now, as they hear about it, like just to, you know, you get phone calls like, hey, I got this person, I got this person, you know, we get it, but there's a process in place, and there's, you know, a program in place that individuals can go to get help and then come in here and apply. And we get that a lot. And so I think internal communication will tighten it up and get better about putting out to the field employees, the folks that are out there in the field, you know, how to answer the questions, how to, you know, get in contact with somebody and how to put somebody in contact with an agency for a program.
This is all awesome, Ken, and really great to just hear a little bit more about what's taken place, what's to come, what the learnings have been. What advice would you give to employers interested in building a similar proactive fair chance initiative at their organization? Is there anything that you know now that you wish you had known when you first started embarking on this journey?
Your email and your phone number. Yeah, no, I mean, all seriousness, Solomon, you know, I told you we tried in Houston a few years ago, and I didn't know what I didn't know. So do your research and do your, searching for educating yourself on how this process works and how this program works. There's a lot out there. There's a lot of resources, a lot of support. Be able to decipher which ones. And, again, you've got to have this champion with you. You need a partnership with someone like Envoy that's going to be able to guide you, help you. And, I don't know, I want to share this story, but, there's been lows, right? There's been times where things don't pan out the way I wanted them to, and had to go back and explain to the executives that, hey, we fell a little short. Well, I tell you what, it helps to have someone like you that I can pick up the phone and say, hey, I'm not feeling good right now. And then it just, by the end of the call, I had like 10 different views of what happened and what we were doing, and so you need that champion with you. Don't be discouraged. There are going to be some rough spots, but don't be discouraged.
What a wonderful last sentiment, Ken. I think that's fantastic. And I want to say that it sounds like Union Pacific is one of our model employers, champion employers, if you will, for fair chance hiring. It sounds like there was a lot of education, some leaders that were champions as well as part of this process. And then what I loved really hearing from you is that now we are moving forward with this as part of our standard recruiting strategy. And not only that, but you are now expanding to all of these other markets and really creating a model that is sustainable moving forward. And that is exactly what we want to hear. We are so excited to continue to see all of the success in this area. And thank you so much for chatting with us today.
Oh, no, thank you for having me again. I appreciate it. I really do. Any opportunity I can get to talk about the great things that we have done together as a team, I want to do that because people need to know.